Good afternoon and welcome to J.J. Isaacson Field here at Seymour Smith Park at a really hot day here in Omaha, Nebraska. Alongside Jaden Taylor, I'm Alex Teitjen. We hope you're having a wonderful weekend here today. So here we are with this exciting matchup between the Royal Blue Dogs and the Cropdusters. Both these teams have pretty good pitching, pretty good hitting. Now, Jaden, this is the first time we've been broadcasting since last Tuesday, and I'm telling you one thing: we've had a lot of good games throughout the past week.
Yeah, it's been a kind of interesting past week that we've seen from a lot of different teams. I mean, we've seen some upsets a little bit sometimes. The Filth Ballers be the number one team by far. They've been cruising through the majority of this season. They lost back-to-back games up against the Rail Riders as well as the Cropdusters that we're going to see here today. And, I mean, we kind of see some guys coming back into the mix a little bit. I think both hitting teams are going to be an interesting piece to see what they're going to be able to do today.
As you said, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff throughout the past week. As from July 7th, we've seen the Bombers beat the Red Raiders, Red Raiders are still kind of on the bottom of the list as by far. Then the Black Sox losing to the Royal Blue Dogs 5-4, along with the Filth Ballers still, as you said, Jaden, top of the league and beating the Rail Riders 4-3 on July 7th.
Yeah, I mean, those games that start off with, again, Filth Ballers just being able to figure a way to win at times, but actually that's a switch up. I want to apologize for that one. The Rail Riders actually were able to go win up against the Filth Ballers. That one was switched. We apologize for that one. It was actually a Rail Riders win up against the Filth Ballers 4-3. Garrett Vosika, and that one seemed to be the only piece to be able to go up against this Filth Ballers offense that's been so dominant this season. And both of his outings been able to get wins. And I think it's the only team that we've seen consistently find a way to beat the Filth Ballers this season. Kind of an odd thing to see, but you talked about it in the games on Friday. The Haymakers take down the Cropdusters. They're really struggling. The Red Raiders as well. The Royal Blue Dogs take down them 3-1. And then just yesterday, a 7-4 win for the Black Sox up against the Rail Riders. That's a team the Rail Riders seemingly cannot beat, has been the Black Sox this season. The Haymakers then on a doubleheader beat them 4-1. We end off the day with a 5-2 win. Another big upset win. The Cropdusters, again, kind of been going back and forth all season long, but able to take down the Filth Ballers. Let's get ready to go. And, Alex, I think it's going to be a really good one to start it off today with the Royal Blue Dogs as well as the Cropdusters.
That is true. Easton Barnes is going to be the pitching to start things off here for the Cropdusters, and he starts off 1-0. And up to bat is Trent Koziel for the Royal Blue Dogs as he hits it into right field, sun in his eyes, and making the grab for the first out. That will be Caleb Horner.
Good out to start off the first inning. I mean, this is going to be a big piece for Easton Barnes, who has not been a big piece for this Cropduster team this season, although this team has 15 different guys that have some kind of innings this season. Only 8 guys, just about half of that number, has 5 innings or more this year. And, again, just the pitching has not always quite been there, but Coach Jared Jones has really liked to work a lot of different guys when they have them available. And Going to see how we can do here today. Again, a guy that struggled a lot, 16 runs this season in 2 2/3 innings of work. Really struggled against the Haymakers back on June 9th, as well as started a game up against the Rail Riders a little bit on June 25th.
There's a hit into the center field and getting the second out. And making the grab for the out is Teitjen for the Cropdusters.
Yeah, 2 guys, Kozel's out here for the Cropdusters here today. You're going to see the defense has been a big piece for, again, we saw in our first game here today, the Bombers taking on the Rail Riders. They've had some pretty amazing plays between Tanner Black and Danny Spongberg, and Kozel's been a main guy out of left and center field here today, or here this season, for the Cropdusters.
Yep, and Javon Suarez is up to bat, and that one's in the dirt for ball 1. Yeah,
again, that's going to be a big thing to think about just for both these pitching staff. You're going to see Evan Heeb on the mound for the Royal Blue Dogs here today, coming off a little bit of an injury, but I think it very well could be a bullpen day with him maybe thinking maybe 2 or 3 innings for himself, limiting himself a little bit today. So, again, I think the bullpen's going to be a big factor in how these offenses can maybe adjust to those guys.
All right, Jaden. 1-1. That's upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's actually going to be a 3-1. Apologies there.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, the Royal Blue Dogs somewhat struggling this season offensively, but 2 of the teams kind of lower middle pack trying to find their way out of the dumpster to kind of bring themselves back up.
Outside and low that's a walk for Javon Suarez. And
the shortstop from Bethel University, Mishawaka, number 23, Eli McDonald.
Eli McDonald will be coming up to bat. That one will be outside for Eli McDonald.
Yeah, McDonald probably the biggest offensive piece we've seen for the Royal Blue Dogs this season. Leads the team in average and OPS, and here with 2 outs, maybe an opportunity to drive in a runner.
Strike 1 called. McDonald, I don't think he really liked that. Nonetheless, it'll be 1-1. And swinging and a miss, it'll be that strike 2.
And again, McDonald's been a guy that I think hasn't quite always liked that outer half. That's been kind of the biggest piece of him. If he can put it the other way, is mainly a pull guy so far this season, but he's really liked that left center gap. But this guy that has a lot of pop, especially in this middle of the order.
That is hit, and a great catch made. Second base. That's the second baseman, Dakota Hogan, to make the grab.
And up for the Cropdusters in the bottom of the first inning.
Great catch by the second to end the inning. we welcome you back to J.J. Isaacson's field, and right on cue is his first pitch by Evan Hebe. It'll be a hit by pitch for Jack Tilton.
Yeah, an odd start here for he, one of the best arms that we've seen in the Corn Belt League this season. A league best .78 ERA, a league third .89 WHIP. A guy that's been dealing with some arm injuries this season, has been out for the last 2 weeks and kind of resting himself here today, but we'll see how we can adjust here. Kind of struggling to start off with.
That's second pitch by thrown. It will be lined foul as Trenton Kozel is up to hit.
Kozel, you saw him able to make that play in the top of the first innings. Kind of been one of the bigger lefty pieces that we've seen in this Cropdusters team this season.
The 0-1 is swinging, and that'll be a strike two.
He is going to work a more four pitch mix so far this season: a fastball, a curveball, slider, and a cutter and a changeup. And work with him. You saw that cutter right there. It's going to have a really quick movement to the outer half. But again, biggest thing from him is, can he fully get back to his normal self? Again, a guy that's usually used to a different kind of heat, feel like temperature up to 102 here today, so the humidity is definitely going to be a factor.
Wind is blowing, and the wind is blowing and the heat. And it is for another pitch will be outside for a ball.
He again has not been a guy that has a lot of walks this season. Has been pretty consistent, but again, having that 2 weeks off can definitely be a difference. Mainly see him for maybe 2 innings here today. The difference for him is how comfortable he can feel for these first 2 innings and how the bullpen can do behind him. And a little bit of a longer break for him, but still working well and seeing how we can adjust here.
Another liner to foul. It'll be remaining 2-2. He looking to get the first out, and that's drilled into the gap in left center field, and that one's going to be down. Tilton is going to round a second to go to third. Kozel will be heading to second, and that'll be a double.
A great piece of hitting right there by Kozel. I've allowed that fastball to allow that pitch to lay out in the outer half and drove the opposite way. And now again, Evan Hebe, who's been so dominant this season, with 19 strikeouts, is already in some danger here with 2 runners in scoring position early.
Yep. Up the bat is Javon Suarez. He's been a good hitter throughout the year. So 2 on the third and second for the Cropdusters with nobody out.
At 2 runners in scoring position, like you mentioned, this is a big time right now to see this middle of the order for the Cropdusters. You got to come through, especially with nobody out. I don't think this is a time where you're Suarez right now. You don't want to think of too much. You don't want to think of the long ball. You want to make sure you have that team at bat. Make sure you strike first here for the Cropdusters.
Suarez has 2 RBIs on the year, and he's looking for his third. As counts now 2-0. That one stepped away. It'll be 1-2.
And we'll see how Hebe can adjust here. The biggest thing for him this season just has been his weak contact percentage, an 82% weak contact percentage. He's been a guy that does have a lot of strikeouts with 19 and only 3 innings pitched, but especially on that left side, it's a time that I would definitely be okay giving up and out for a hit. You want to be able to find a way to minimize if you're Hebe.
I can agree. Jaden on 1-2 pitch. Ball down in the dirt.
Again, hasn't really seemed like Hebe's just found the consistency in the zone so far. Biggest thing for him is just taking it slowly has been the mentality for him, making sure he's been able to pound the strike zones. Not what we've seen so far from him today, but again, it's something you got to have to change something quickly if you want the Cropdusters to start off early.
Yep, especially when this is the first time he's playing in 2 weeks. I think that's the biggest factor, as this one's popped up. inner field fly and making the grab.
Eli McDonald able to make the play right there. Big first out. Again, those are the kind of things you need. You don't always need that put-away pitch that you just want to end it. If you're Heap right now, again, you want to figure a way to minimize, and it's a long way to go, but this is definitely a time to maybe find a confidence booster for your Heap. You started off slowly. You struggled a little bit. You left the ball a little bit too much into the zone of the Colesville, and then walked the first bat of the day and able to get a first out, but now you either have to find another pop-up or find some kind of way to get one yourself for your Heap.
Another foul out. This is Barrett Ringel up to bat for the Cropdusters. Only one out here in the bottom of the second. Still two on base. Two men on base. Bases. Now it's a 1-1.
He went and got thrown out right there. Even though you said don't go. I did. I said don't go, fake it. And then got back to the bag.
Heap throws and inside of the batter's box. It'll be in.
That's that curveball again. It's kind of a loopy mix. You see really about 230 to 7 to 830 kind of look on that curveball. Got a lot of movement.
This one's down low. Counts 3-1.
Again, especially with the base open, you don't want to give too much here in the middle of the plate for Heap. Make sure you're kind of nibbling around the outer half. Cannot give too much.
(3-1). That one's popped up and out of play. Way out of play, rather.
That's a good gimme pitch right there. Again, you're trying to work that outer half and not give too much. But now if you're Heap, I think you got to feel what's most comfortable for you, which to rise this season has been the changeup. Last time against these Cropdusters, 7 strikeouts on that change. It's going to die in the outer half, kind of working towards his arm side.
3-2, another foul ball.
I think that was more of a fastball working back up again. We'll see kind of how that movement dips.
He's been out there for quite a while here in the first inning.
Yeah, he's been a guy that's had been the distance the majority of the times this season. Has gone 6 or more innings 2 of the 3 times he's come up, and that averaging just about 95 pitches per outing.
3-2, that's lined up in the middle, and second over to first, and to get the second out. Roby Ikarashi will make from the throw to second over to first. Get the second out.
Yeah, I think you'll take the second out, especially for a run here when you're just trying to figure a way out of it if you're Heave. And definitely a different difference, but I think you definitely take that second out.
Caleb Copeland was now up to bat here for the Cropdusters. Throw is low for ball 1. He got him on a low ball here, and now 1-1.
Again, I can't quite tell really on that pitch if that was that changeup. Really looked more to seeing that fastball. But I think Copeland kind of working a little bit too much to the outside. Was pouncing, I think, definitely looking for a fastball in the outer half, and just dove a little bit more towards it.
1-1. That one is still outside for make it 2-1. And swung on. Might got tipped. Caleb Copeland did swing for that, and now 2-2.
Again, I think Heeb's really living on that outer half. That's been his mentality so far today. Kind of left one a little bit more over the plate in Colesville, and that's kind of been the difference so far here in this first inning. But a long first inning for Evan Heeb. He's got to find a way to get out of this.
Looking to get out of this right here when it's 2-2. That's a liner over to third. Will Richter, and making the out just in time to end the inning.
For the Cropdusters in the bottom of the first inning, 1 run on
He will finally get out as their two men were left on base, and we'll be right back.
Royal Blue Dogs.
We welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. Up the bat for the Royal Blue Dogs is Devin Jones as he shows bunt, and the catcher cannot reach the popped-up bunt. Thatcher Poteet, catcher, just try to race for it and will not get it, and it'll be a strike.
Yeah, again, Devin Jones, that's been the most known thing we've seen from him. The speed has been the biggest asset for Devin Jones this season. Of course, defending his senior season at Miller West, and won a state title for that team, has been an outfielder really the majority of his career, and it's definitely not a bad idea when you're already down 1-0, maybe trying to start something off.
Here's a liner to right field, and making a good grab. That's Caleb Horner to make the first out.
Again, although oddly struggling the majority of this season, Barnes has started off pretty consistent. Again, for a guy that doesn't have a ton of pitching experience, to be able to get weak contact for kind of the start that we've seen. We've really seen a three-guy mix the majority of the year for the Cropdusters, at least starting-wise. It's been A.J. Venture, Anthony Comfort, as well as Thatcher Poteet you're seeing behind home plate here today. But maybe that fourth date has kind of been the difference of who can be the next guy up. And we'll see again, you're trying to get that back half of the season. We're nearing just about 2 weeks away from the start of the postseason. So who can step up in those big moments to be able to maybe be another guy that's available down the stretch?
That one will be chopped away and foul as Brennan Redding is up to bat, and Easton Barnes still pitching out there. I did talk to Easton Barnes earlier in today. He is both on the batting lineup for the Cropdusters, and he told me today he's looking forward to not only pitching, but he's also looking for his first hit of the year while batting, and he will get Redding swinging to make it 1-2. And next pitch will be up high.
Again, Redding's kind of waiting on that fastball we'll see in the inner half. We see if he can pull something down the line. Really a big left center gap so far right now.
2-2 to Redding, and it'll be full count.
Especially with one out here, if you're Redding, again, you want to make sure you're finding something inside the zone. Again, that outer half is definitely what you see from Barnes trying to work here. Mainly only seen a fastball look so far.
That is lined up the middle for a base hit. Redding will have the first hit of the day for the Royal Blue Dogs.
Yeah, great way to start it off here with just one out. And you're trying to get to kind of this middle, the back half of the order. And again, guy for Brennan, who we've seen majority of this season, has kind of worked either the third base spot or the second base spot for the Royal Blue Dogs when he's out there. But now DH in here, getting a really good opportunity to start something.
Up the bat is Tommy Rowland, the first baseman for the Royal Blue Dogs, and hits it into left field. Copeland's going to kind of recover. Oh, it's off his head, and and Redding will be going to third. It will be a double for Tommy Rowland on the first pitch that he's got.
And Rowland kind of chopped that ball out there in the left. A hard play out there to make by the left fielder. But again, now right after the Cropdusters are able to put multiple guys in scoring position just back in that first inning. Now an opportunity to do the same and try to bring some kind of run in, if you're the Royal Blue Dogs, to try to tie this one back up.
Will Richter, third baseman, comes up the bat and kind of close to him, and it'll be a ball.
Again, Barnes is, and you really see maybe the two-pitch mix that we've seen from him this season, but I think that's got to be helping more the Royal Blue Dogs this year. Again, you got to pounce fastball when you see that really somewhat in the zone, be able to find a lot of consistent barrels is what they need to be able to do today. But again, that's kind of the opposite thing, right? You see Barnes right there just nibbling that outer half. You have to make sure you find ways for the Royal Blue Dogs to miss. That can be a concerning thing when you're only really a 1-2 pitch guy. There's only so many options you have in your arsenal.
1-1 to Richter, and another ball inside 2-1. I also, as I said, I did talk to Easton about what he's been throwing, and he did say, I did ask him what he would be throwing, and he said fastball and curveball would be his top choices, as that one is up high for make it 3-1.
And again, I think, when you have that two-pitch mix, we've mainly seen fastball the entirety of the day today here in just an inning at third. I think definitely down 3-1, excuse me. Have a base open. Again, you cannot give really what you've been doing these last two batters when you're behind over the middle of the plate, and you did.
There's a strike two to make it full count.
That was a big swing by Richter right there. I mean, he knew that was a mistake. The fastball kind of crept in a little bit too much over the heart of the plate, and Richter, I think, was wounding up as much as he could to drive that one to the outfield, just barely missed.
Full count with one out. That one's fouled away. Oh.
Now Barnes again working possibly a seventh pitch here in this at-bat. Got to find a way out of this. Find a way to get out here. You've worked out long enough here in this at-bat.
Strike three called. Richter didn't really like it, but nonetheless, it'll be the second out.
Yeah, a lot of guys didn't like that borderline call when you have that three.
The bat is Robu Ikarashi. 2 pitches, 2 strikes. The 0-2 is up high to make it 1-2.
Bottom half of the order. He's had some pretty big games that we've seen even on here on the Corn Belt League Network. He's been a guy that he's been able to figure a way to possibly work out of it. Again, the command hasn't guys that have struggled with the command.
Ikarashi with 3 RBIs on the year, make it 4. Base hit to tie the game, and it could be the lead as he'll come in to make it 2 RBI double to give the Royal Blue Dogs the lead here at the top of the second.
And the 2-2 just left it over too much over the middle of the plate. And again, out still to go, and another opportunity for the Royal Blue Dogs after taking the lead to possibly,
as you said, top of the inning or top of the batting order. As this one,
and just an inning 2/3 for a guy. It's only been a 1-pitch guy so far today. We've, at least in my, for the Royal Blue Dogs, this is the time to pounce.
Collegiate will get another will
Barnes has been missing too much over the plate, and a good time for the Cropdusters, and specifically Barnes. He's just kind of more or less getting pieced up a little bit. That's a big piece right here. Again, you're kind of seeing this aura the second time here today. Again, it's time for Barnes to be able to bear down and get out of this inning. Again, nothing's too incredibly hurt. Big to maybe give the Cropdusters a little bit more momentum, who've had some success, especially in that first inning up against
the single, but that was false. He's hitting right now, but he is still. Runner goes, and ball's loose, and he'll be going back.
Runner was off really quickly, and again, I think maybe some miscommunication up there in the middle.
Easton Barnes still going, and I think we've all still seen Caleb Copeland to send us into the middle of the inning.
3 runs on 4.
His first at-bat of the game, and starting off with
4 pitches in that first inning. It's the most pitches we've seen from him in a single inning this season. 10, kind of a different look for him. Going to work 2, maybe 3 innings for Hebe today. Kind of, I want to say.
I agree. I wouldn't think this inning, but probably next inning he'll be. Thatcher Pote might have got hit by pitch.
I believe they must have called it that. That was a 2-1 pitch. Must be Owens go in for the courtesy runner for Thatcher Pote. I mean, he's gone from pitching to working behind the plate. We've seen him pretty consistently.
Off with the strike. Thrown by Hebe. Runner goes, and that is plays dead. He'll be 0-2 after the foul ball tip. For their first out of the inning.
Hey, again, you talked about it, maybe a limited start here today for Evan Hebe. For them, again, I think if you're Hebe here, you want to make sure that no matter how long you go, you second for the Royal Blue Dogs was big after, again, a really comparatively struggling ground ball to allow your defense to do the work.
1-2, runner goes. And he goes from first to third, and
from the way it looked up here, might have went off the head of Kate Owens and kind of possibly chip away this deficit.
That's hit into right center field and making the grab. And
piece right there. Again, Hogan, you've been down the count majority of the time. Foul off 3 different balls. Keep the at-bat alive.
With a mound meeting. We did say that it would probably be an early game for Evan Hebe. And
that new pitcher coming in, it's going to be Braden Bach. Evan Hebe, again, count just by 1 here. Definitely a different look. We'll see what Bach can do when we come back.
We welcome you back, and up to bat is Easton Barnes. He's also pitching for the Cropdusters as of now at Will Richter and Eli McDonald, and they were unable to throw it. It'll be a single.
I was trying to quick runner here on first. Again, you already started off this inning with a quick run. There was just 1 out. You're getting now. Horn High School is 1-1 in the year. A 3.91 ERA. We've seen him kind of mix both out of the bullpen. We've seen just 1 start from him this season. the command has kind of been an issue for him. 12 walks to 14 strikeouts. We'll see here again, maybe a longer relief appearance from him. Evan Heeb more or less having a little bit of a rehab start after working a little bit of an elbow injury. Most dominant pitcher of any pitcher that we've seen this season for the Royal Blue Dogs, really more or less in the Corn Belt League, but
Yeah.
and maybe nursing that injury, finding his way back.
As you said, we could very well see Bach for looking for the second out. Easton Barnes still at first base.
After it,
Yeah.
he's not happy at all. Look at the other umpire. They thought that one definitely went off of the extra bat. Clear that one up. Could have been an odd play. Of course, there's no reason to kind of have that kind of setup. You don't want to allow a guy to be able to.
It's a full count, and that'll be. Was it off his foot?
Yeah, it was off his foot.
That one's popped up, aiming foul, and it'll go out of play. Brendan Bach still and they got out at second, and they believe he's safe at first.
That's the place out, or the base out there at second.
Maintenance is coming.
Saw kind of McDonald kind of throw it up to himself. Just a little bit too hard in there. It looks like the setup of the base, or really the base piece of the base, might have broken up a little bit.
Logan Davis will be up to bat here with 2 outs, and we had a little delay as thankfully we got that fixed. Shout out to all the maintenance here, and we'll be 1-1 from Bach to Davis.
Running straight into the bag, kind of propped it up a little bit.
This one's popped into left field, and the Royal Blue Dogs remain their lead 3-1.
3, Cropdusters 2.
We welcome you back to J.J. Isaacson Carlson. He starts off 1-0.
And we saw riding in the bullpen. We'll see how. You mentioned that heat, the fatigue can definitely be a factor for both of our pitchers. I think it's also partially a reason we saw Evan Heeb just come out of the ball game after an inning and a third. Yeah, we'll see how long.
Into left field, and going back and making the catch is Caleb Copeland to force out number 1.
Yeah, really good. But able to get the first out. And again, we've really seen the way that Barnes has been able to find success is by allowing his defense to make
Catch, and for out number 2. The sun was in his eyes, I bet, but Jack Tilton comes from a shortstop position to force it.
Gonna have to be a guy to, as we see here with 2 outs, a really big left center field gap. We'll see if he can possibly put one over Tilton, like you mentioned.
Ball is
378. Second on the team, just behind who we saw just 2 batters ago, and Nick Carlson.
Ooh.
As
1-1. That one will now be a ball in McDonald's favor.
Runs at Bethel University, Mishawaka here this past spring, just so far this summer. Out of Indiana. But working this middle of the order has been one of the most consistent guys we've seen, not just this Royal Blue Dogs team, but throughout the entirety of the Corn Belt League.
Second out of the game of the inning and making the catch, and we'll be back.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, Tilton, Kozel,
We're at the top of the batting order for the Cropdusters. Jack Tilton up the bat. He'll be starting off low and outside of make it 1-1.
Yeah, Tilton was hit by a pitch back in the first. And it kind of started with 1 in the 3rd inning pitch, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, a walk and a hit by a pitch. A more struggling day for he, but Bach is kind of worked now and able to get a quick out here in the 3rd.
the center fielder from Southeast Community College, number 35, Teitjen Kozel.
Trayton Kozel will now be coming out the bat. He'll short, and he will get Kozel out for out number 2.
Again, that's been the mantra so far for both Bach as well as Barnes. Double that we saw earlier by Trayton Kozel was kind of the biggest thing we saw, or Trayton Kozel, excuse me, was kind of taking a team at bat. Javon Suarez right here with a big ground out to bring in the first run of the day, and that was kind of all they really needed.
You're right. He is 0 for 1 today, and now strike count, he is 0-2. Oh.
Yeah, out from a sac fly from Dakota Hogan. Brought in the run we see here for the crowd.
That's lined down the line. This is down in fair territory. Trent Kozel is coming to and Suarez.
Great piece of hitting right there by Javon Suarez. He's had a pretty good day to start it off with. Again, that fastball just snuck a little bit and just barely got really 2 or 3 feet inside that right field line.
Now Barrett Ringel. So 0 for 1 on the day. Will throw a ball with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
On counts early. He's kind of working a quicker pace than we saw at Hebe. And that can be a big thing for a lot of different pitchers. How is your pacing to set yourself up for next pitches? And sometimes
just grabs the pop-up nearly from his catching position.
After 3 innings of play, Royal Blue Dogs.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. alongside Jaden Taylor. I'm Alex Teitjen, and field today. He's usually around all around the outfield. First pitch
is just 27 strikes, so it's kind of been just barely a 52% strike percentage, but that's what he's gotten all day long to keep them in it low.
Jones pop out. Trent Kojal makes the out number one in this inning.
For the Royal Blue Dogs, Brendan Redding worked a 6 to 7 pitch at bat for him, then drove one just right back up the middle to Barnes. I think he really had Barnes timed up. Really efficient first inning and a really efficient third inning. Has allowed Barnes to stay in this one and at least keep the
Cropdusters bullpen. So he's still fighting, and
kind of a good look so far, and maybe a different look than we've seen Brendan Redding see all day so far. See if he switched it up with the fastball, trying to change the eye level.
Oh, that one's
placement that he wanted it, but Poteet was setting up high and outside, and that's kind of a little bit of a different thing, especially when you're only able to use.
And here, Barnes throws it first to get the out here for Redding as forces out number 2.
And again, we got in a dangerous third inning to where we saw 3 different singles, or excuse me, 2 singles and a double.
Yeah.
There are 2 outings so far this season and 2 2/3 of an inning. He's coming in here maybe, at least when you get down to it, when we get to postseason time, could definitely be a guy, another option outside of the 3 main guys that we've seen from the Cropdusters this year.
Running back, Trent sure get there. A triple for Tommy Rowland.
Yeah, that one was peace. A fastball really right over them, running behind him from the get-go, and it still got behind him. That one definitely, that one probably would have been out to left, but that dead center for Blue Dogs to add on to their 3-2 lead.
Up the bat, Will Richter, third baseman, has 2 RBIs on the year. Looking for his
Richter, again, a guy we've seen mainly at the corner spots this season, sometimes been the designated hitter, extra hitter for these Royal Blue Dogs. And you mentioned looking for that for Barnes either way. You're going to get an entirely different look. You're now the second time through this order. You want to try to still make it hurt while Barnes maybe a little bit fatigued.
not hesitating, and there is the walk.
To leave open here with 2 outs, and you're working the bottom of the order for the Royal Blue Dogs. And again, Richter, a guy who kind of got to him back in the second. Barnes for a look for Barnes to try to get out of this one.
Ikarashi coming up the bat. He hit a double earlier in the second inning, and now Barnes looked back, gave a glance at first base. Now back to the wall, and scoring easily is.
We're there at first base. The ball just threw away. Kind of a hard play. Definitely maybe looking into the sun over there at first base was Barrett Ringel. But again, those costly small things can be a fade, but kind of another mistake on his own, gave that one back up.
Ball is up high. They increase their lead 4-2, and a wild pitch is going to the wall, and it's going to from second to third is Will Richter.
And again, the fatigue is really setting in here for Barnes. It's time going out back there on the mound, already down 2-0. You're behind a guy that's already seen you well today. You mentioned that double back in the second for him.
Yep.
Got to find a
ball up high to make it 3-0.
I think if you're Ikarashi now, I think you actually could be comfortable really over the heart of the plate. You got to go after it.
Strike one called. Is hit into shallow left center field, racing back and dropping in front of Caleb Copeland for a base hit. 2.
And again, we thought Barnes might have a way to figure his way out of it, but a couple of defensive mistakes as well as really just kind of a jam shot single out into left field. Quickly then get the arm in the bullpen to go. I'm really surprised they haven't taken out Barnes here, who's kind of struggled even more here in the fourth.
and hit into center field, and making the out is Teitjen Kozel.
2 runs on 2 hits.
Caleb Copeland is up to bat here and starts off with a
Mentioned Bach, and that pace has been a big thing for him so far in this one. He's liked to work quickly. He's already through his motion.
That one's inside.
Yeah, we've seen that from a lot of.
And off his glove, and he'll be safe.
That's a tough play over there at third by Will Richter. I mean, able to get the better angle than Eli McDonald, but it looks like they're going to call that an error on Roland. Kind of a hard play to make either way, but definitely a pick that is actually at least a step or two ahead of Copeland.
Poteet will be up to bat as he had a talk with his third base coach, and will be coming up to bat. And time is called.
Yeah, Poteet, I think huge right now as you see Will Richter really on the line trying to work for a possible bunt.
Yep.
That can maybe be a different look here. The 6-hole, which is wide open, so is that left center gap. There's a time now if you're Poteet to pull it through the left side.
Still 1-0 and a ball in the dirt. Copeland won't go.
Yeah, Bach a bit preoccupied with the runner over the heart of the plate, which Bach, again, you mentioned talking a little bit too much or thinking a little bit too much about the runner at first. If he gives you a mistake here, you got to take it. It was entirely sitting fastball and sitting a little bit too much on that one, towards any point in the zone he was swinging at, way out of the zone, but missed.
Still 2-1, bottom of the fourth. This one's popped up. Poteet, or Copeland rather, he tried to run up to second, and they ended up getting him out as for Copeland.
Yeah, Kojo and Ikarashi, like you mentioned, kind of coming onto that ball and on a strong throw, able to get it for the second out. It's really a hard play on all ends, and if you're Copeland, I think definitely frustrated yourself a little bit, but that's still the right look to look at, right? You don't want to give up the double ball, and I mean, still maybe a little bit of safety look for the Royal Blue Dogs right after you think, okay, hey, maybe there's a mistake defensively. Still able to get
the ball dropped right in front of them, but they ended up still ended up getting one out as another strike for Bach.
Dakota Hogan kind of, you saw talk about that sack fly here earlier in this one. This is the time for the Cropdusters again, still down by 3 here. Getting pretty deep outfield, especially out there in center. For Bach, the guy's kind of really preoccupied with the guy at first, and find that mistake and shoot it right back up.
Runner goes. Nonetheless, going to third. Or wait, that's
Cade Owens.
Yeah, that's my apologies. Nonetheless, going from first to
throw by Nick Carlson, just kind of airmailed that one. Even Eli McDonald behind him couldn't quite see that one going into center field. And now again, just with one out here for Dakota Hogan, but I think definitely a look there for Cade Owens. Definitely wanted to let that one go through the middle, off on the pitch, or excuse me, right off on contact, so definitely had to stay there. Maybe even that one staying in the infield helped out the Royal Blue Dogs even with the hit. As now the double play is still in order.
With runners at the corners here with one out, bottom of the fourth. That one inside for Easton Barnes.
And I mentioned earlier in this one, Barnes still looking for his first hit. Duster team maybe inch their way back, now down 3.
Down the middle for strike 2.
The Royal Blue Dogs started off the day with Evan Heeb, kind of top of the 4th for the Royal Blue Dogs, have them at 5. 2 runs, 1 each individually in the 1st and 2nd for the Cropdusters. Threw in a big spot.
Bach trying to go to pick off Hogan for, that's the 2nd time in a row he's done that. He will not get him. Still one.
Really thinking about him a ton.
Strike 3, swing and a miss for Easton Barnes. That'll be the 2nd out of the inning.
More of a high school guy coming over here for the summer. Is just really, really sure. 22 plate appearances, back half of the season. But I think we've seen both the Royal Blue Dogs as well as Cropdusters hitting just kind of be on a roller coaster a little bit this season. We've seen some nothing out there, so it's kind of been an inconsistency for both of these teams. Still a close ball.
Not Potier.
Yeah, Kate Owens, the pinch runner, comes in. You see Hogan on the steal come all the way around to 3rd. And a big hit right there. Carlson, the lefty. Logan Davis, the lefty. One swing of the bat here could.
There's going to be no throw.
Yeah, Bach, I think, was sleeping a little bit that one.
He didn't come up.
Yeah, threw it away from Nick Carlson. I think it was going to be a mound meeting there. Ethan Langfeld.
Hogan came in to score the run on the wild pitch, and time is called.
Davis is another guy that's been really struggling in the bottom half of this order. A .056 average. Does have an RBI this season. Kind of a big RBI here, trying to tie this one up. Royal Blue Dogs. Did see a righty for the Cropdusters. Definitely could be a change from Easton Barnes.
Oh, and they got him at second base.
Runner out there at second, somewhat sleeping. It's a 1-run ball game. We'll head to the top of the 5th here on the Corn Belt League Network.
For the Cropdusters, it's number 8, Matthew Fulton, and now we're at the top earlier in the game.
Yeah, going to be the 4th appearance so far this season for Matthew Fulton. First time out of the bullpen we'll see him soon. 11th versus the Filthballs, the longest outing that we've seen him so far this season. 72 pitches up against the Filthballs, but a struggling start for him. 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned, 2 walks. And the command has been an issue. 14 walks. Had 6 up against the Black Sox on June 20th and another 6. There's at least keep this one to a 1-run ball game.
Trent Kogel at bat. I don't think Trent Kogel really liked that call, but
yeah, the home plate umpire has really been giving both the outer half to both lefties and righties. And a little bit inconsistent, definitely down 2 strikes, something you got to be weary of and try to foul that one away if you see that one. That
one, the ball outside.
Johnson, did you get that jersey for the kid at the front gate?
Yeah, Fulton, again, we mentioned the sometimes lack of command that we've seen from another guy that's just right out.
Over the glove of Fulton, he tried to make a jumping grab, but it won't get it, and it will be going into the outfield for a single for Nick Carlson.
And we saw the 3-run second and the 2-run fourth. It's Blue Dogs now. Got to make sure that you kind of try to add on to this one. Cannot give the rest of this bullpen enough insurance. Especially you see Braden. We'll see how much longer they want to go with Bach and see who else might be available.
Carlson tries to Lane Shires now up to bat. Currently 1-1 for him. Runner goes, and that ball is trickled into right field. That'll be a base hit. Carlson will go to third. Shires will
only throwing low to mid-70s. He's left a lot of these pitches over the heart of the plate a little bit too much, and he's back. Paxton Wilhelm up in the bullpen currently for the Cropdusters, and trying to keep it a 1-run ball game. Double play is still in order. Almost got away from him right there against Eli McDonald.
McDonald is also 0 for 2 today, as he hits one into the left field.
Yeah, tough play right there. Throw out from left field. I think right there, an easy tag up from first. And the run does come in right there, but that's a thought process right there. With that throw coming into home rather than going over to second, you now have a runner in scoring position. Possibly give the Blue Dogs.
Receives his first pitch. Devin Jones is playing center field today, but we usually see first pitch for him is a little down and low to make it 1-0 for him.
Yeah, Fulton, I'm kind of just giving up a little bit too many pitches over the middle of the plate, but it's kind of struggling being able to find themselves early in counts.
For Devin Jones, and Royal Blue Dogs receive 1 run going to the bottom of the 5th. Davis here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Royal Blue Dogs still lead 6-4 after receiving.
Yeah, again, the pacing has been very quick, like you mentioned, for Braden Bach. Came in for the starter, Evan Hebe.
To Logan Davis as Braden Bach, he right up to him and it dropped down and just like, whoa.
That's a hard play to make either way. That one coming straight back. Definitely a scary situation, but still an out nonetheless. I think Bach really taking his.
Still going pretty fast, and now it's 1-0 here for Jack.
This Cropdusters lineup, it's mainly been him as well as Braxton Wilhelm, kind of out of the top of the order that we've seen for this Cropdusters team the majority of the year. It was
foul play, but Lane Shires won't be able to get it. Kind of dropped right in front of him almost.
Another foul. Really dropped just 2 or 3 feet in front of him. We'll see how now Bach can work here up 1-2 onto Tilton. We'll see what he wants to go to with his
He'll make the out 2 down.
Again, it's kind of been an odd situation so far. We've really seen for both these teams this 1 inning. It's been really off here in this 5th inning. There is still a righty up in the bullpen for the Royal Blue Dogs. Ethan Lang, Blue Dogs this season. We've seen him a lot of different times, maybe setting himself up to be the closer here in the 6th or 7th.
Kozel now up to bat. Now 0-2 with 2 outs. Out of Kozel's reach. Make it 2-2.
Bach here on this at back. You go fastball trying to work him outside, and that 12-6 curveball, which really more had 11-4 run.
Gets him on a fastball, I believe, but still 6-4 with the Blue Dogs up ahead. 0-2,
Redding.
6-4 lead over the Cropdusters. Jaden Taylor, Alex Teitjen here with you today.
As Brennan Redding.
Redding.
Yeah, Fulton struggling there in left.
Caleb Copeland to make the out for the first one.
Yeah, Redding just 1 for 2, but he's been really consistent beginning. And if you're Fulton right there, maybe a little bit of sigh of relief. Definitely a mistake leaving that fastball over the middle of the plate. We could play defensively, really stand up straight to Copeland.
He hits it, pop up, back to Copeland's way, and he will.
All day today, a lot of weak contact, and we've seen mainly a fastball mix both from Barnes and Fulton. We've seen that curveball a little bit from Fulton as well. And in order to do this last half of this inning and maybe into the 7th.
Back here for the Blue Dogs. That one is high over our press box. And
good job, but just allowing these hitters to work themselves deeper and deeper in the counts. Has found himself in the zone a lot.
That one. Strike 3 called. Welcome back here. Bottom of the 6th inning here, about to commence. Jovan Suarez as first pitch is down for a strike.
His 5th inning of relief work. Evan Heeb started off the day, but kind of more of a rehab start from him after a 2 weeks off can definitely be a little bit of a new realization of truly where you're at. Heeb bullpen for the Royal Blue Dogs. Ethan Langfelder as well as Tanner Duraza.
Suarez thought about swinging it but didn't, and it'll be
Suarez maybe thinking that was going to be a fastball in the inner half, just cut out the outer half and thinking a little bit too much.
For the Cropdusters as he hits it just foul.
Yeah, comfortably more so been the ace for this Cropdusters pitching staff this season. We've also seen him at first base. So far this season, hitting .259, which is a look up against Bach. The Cropdusters again have kind of stayed themselves into it, but it's kind of been the Royal Blue Dogs.
0-2, just off the mark. I think Comfort was just on the edge about swinging, pulling the trigger and trying to swing.
Was Comfort. Definitely see a different look here from Bach.
Comfort's
fastball, you got a couple pitches to waste. Well, the arsenal that Bach has, got to find yourself maybe waiting fastball here.
will be out number 2.
Yeah, just like I said, you work off speed, try to switch it up. You work that fastball just in the outer half, and I think got Comfort looking at slider as well as a cutter look. Again, that fastball.
1-0 now. Caleb Copeland up to bat. Make it 1 for 2 right now. Play Roby Ikarashi makes the out, and we're going here to the top of the 7th. Welcome back here to the top of the 7th inning here at J.J. Isaacson Field. Robu Ikarashi will bail into the left center in the left field. That one is off the grasp of Caleb Coltland. Ikarashi will
face 9 batters. 7 of them he has started with the fastball right over the heart of the plate. Too many mistakes he's had so far in Royal Blue Dogs and Cropdusters. He kind of stayed in it back and forth so far in this one. But if you're the Royal Blue Dogs, right?
That's out into center field, and that's going to be dropped down. Ikarashi will come to third. He'll make it there. Outs.
Yeah, J.J. Schubert just plopped that one right over Dakota Hogan at second. Jack Till play, just be able to see the open bag and take it. Now 2 runners in scoring position here, and now bases loaded after the 2 incredible day here, 0 for 3. But I think for the Cropdusters right now who do not want to give up another free run.
Going back to, that one's inside. Going back to Robu Ikarashi, that's his second double. He just his second double is popped up, and nobody will move in foul territory. And making the grab is Barrett.
Middle infielders to work back, have the opportunity to keep the double play in order between the 2 of them. And if Fulton can get out of this base-loaded jam.
7-4, and ball bounced around for a little bit.
Jack Tilton, but again, kind of let the long hop go towards him as J.J. Schubert was kind of in his way. A really good job right there by down the line. Get himself a fielder's choice and bring in another run. Shires at first after that ground ball fielder's choice.
And now he goes, and that one's...
I see Eli McDonald over there at first kind of laughing that one off. Barely off the end cap, but the way the defense was positioned. But again, the Royal Blue Dogs just continuing to add on.
Or is Lane Shires making it 9-4 Royal Blue Dogs.
Now the Cropdusters, they're struggling even more. It just seems like nothing. Devin Jones, Fulton, like we mentioned, out of Platteview High School, but has really struggled this summer here with his team.
McDonald is at second with 1 out. And McDonald will advance to third. Oh.
This has been a really struggling piece for Matthew Fulton. And if you're Devin Jones right now, you're up 2-1. You haven't even really seen a true strike so far.
They lean back from it still. Now it's 3-1.
Yeah, Jones, even on that 3-1, you talk about it, do you want to make sure you have that green light? And he thought he had it. Fulton laid one right over the middle.
And he does. Devin Jones takes the walk. The inning continues.
Yeah, nobody in the bullpen for the Cropdusters. I think Jared Jones is going to have Fulton go through the rest of this 7th inning. Second, another 2 in the 4th, and now 3 here in the 7th. And Brennan Redding, who's had a really big day, is able to find pretty well
Oh,
Fulton as well as Barnes.
ball gets away, and easily scoring is McDonald, and Devin Jones escaping this one as it's now 10-4.
Yeah, what a seventh inning here. 4 runs here in this seventh inning. Struggling. And once again right there, you've even seen Fulton kind of get away with something.
Up, and could be playable, and just over the fence and out of play.
Can he throw it up there?
That one.
Foul balls to the first or third base dugout.
Yeah, Reading again's kind of just been chipping some fastballs away. And again, Fulton.
Swinging, that will end the not-so-good inning for Matthew Fulton. But Royal Blue Dogs come in with an explosion of scoring. Welcome back here, going to the bottom of the 7th inning here at J.J. Isaacson Field. We take this one against the Blue Dogs, but Blue Dogs scoring 4 runs at the top of the 7th inning with a 6-run lead. It's going to be hard to win this one, call it.
Yeah, it was really a back-and-forth ball game. The Cropdusters had not led throughout the entirety of this one. Pretty good innings out of the bullpen. Does have 2 earned runs so far today and 5 hits, but has 4 strikeouts and has not walked anybody. So keeping the Royal Blue Dogs for him. 3 innings of work for Fulton out of the bullpen. 5 runs, 4 earned, 3 wild pitches, and 2 walks.
That one.
Commentator drinks right there, right after I say he's been somewhat flawless command-wise, gives up the walk to Cropdusters. You have to have the mindset that Jared Jones, their head coach, has been preaching all season long. It's not just a clear mindset, making sure that you're not putting too much pressure on yourself.
Down the middle, just outside. It'll be 0-1. Way out of fair territory. And that's lined into left field for a base hit. And so with nobody out and with 2 on, still trying to.
And we mentioned Ethan Langfelder is back now up and throwing in the bullpen for the Royal Blue Dogs. We'll see if they allow Bach to go the rest of the way on this one.
He gets Easton Barnes swinging. And as we said all day, he's still looking for his first hit. And going to third is Owens, and he will get there with ease as now runners are at
corners here. But again, just still seeing a way that Easton Barnes can swing away here. As a strikeout, big first out for Bach.
Yeah.
Now you have the double play in order to possibly get out of this one.
Lane Shives will come and get it. 1 run will score. And going to third, he's safe. And tack on another run for the Cropdusters.
They're just driving it just past the outstretched arms of Will Richter at third, getting down the left field line. But a good job right there, Dakota Hope. 2 runners in scoring position here, and a guy like Logan Davis trying to kind of work away from his struggling start to the season. Bach going. Langfelder is done out there in the bullpen. We'll see if he's fully ready to go when needed.
Ball, 1-2 count for Logan Davis. 2 down.
Yeah, Bach's been keeping both of them to himself, both the outs so far here in this 7th. He'll get back into his hips on that one. Now just 1 out away from securing a big win for the...
At the top of the batting order here. May or may not be in favor of that, nonetheless 2-1.
Be 0 for today. You would not think it'd be him. 0 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch back in the first and came around to score. I'm trying to find...
After not walking anybody at all beforehand.
Yeah, I think that very well may be the day for Bach.
Yeah.
Evan Heeb to start. With 2 outs here and just 1 out to go, Heeb will just come out and talk to Bach and see how much he's feeling.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the 7th. After the mound meeting by most of the infielders, Braden Bach remains in the game despite running.
Yeah, back-to-back curveballs by Bach. It's kind of worked a little bit more of the off-speed, trying to work
Down.
Bases loaded here. Apologies for our scorebook. Bases loaded here with 2 outs.
That one's lined and won't be the last one as this one goes to the gap in right center. In to score is...
We'll see if Heeb's going to go out there. That very well could be the day for Bach. It's going to be Ethan Langfelder. We'll see the possible change here as Heeb's going to come out. Runners at the corners here, and the Cropdusters have made this one interesting. It's a 10-7 ball game. Dusters, the possible opportunity here in the 7th. We'll see our new pitcher here in a moment.
Yep. Welcome back here to J.J. Isaacson Field, bottom of the 7th with a new pitcher out, but going into the inning being up by 6 runs.
The bullpen for the Royal Blue Dogs this season, 26 innings pitched.
Oh, here we go.
Sometimes got rocked.
And here he is. Blue Dogs did let up with the Cropdusters scoring 3 runs late in the 7th, but they do survive here, winning 10-7 with...
Royal Blue Dogs win this one here today, 10-7. Their 7th win of the. What was your day today?
I'm pretty good, but I can't swing.
Definitely a lot of different guys trying to work in summer ball, trying to get better. What have you been trying to get better at this season? I mean, you're showing off the power here at double today. You got a couple scorchers here today. Doing pretty good. I mean, still a 3-for-3 day for you. Still a strong day for the Royal Blue Nebraska. How has it been moving from so really two different places?
Yeah, I baseball in U.S. So I live in New York right now.
To play ball. It's
Yeah.
been great to have you here today. A really good win for you guys. Again, congratulations to you. A big win here today for the Royal Blue Dogs.